Alright, g'day everyone, Matt from Panda Garage here. Today we are doing a bit more work on the Monaro. It hasn't popped up in many videos of late, but this one isn't sort of necessary for this car, but it's something I wanted to show you guys, and while I was out I just wanted to check for peace of mind. But today we are actually going to bleed brakes by ourselves. Now I think I might have done this in a previous video regarding just doing brake kits by yourself, but this way is more of a sure thing, and I know it's a sure thing because I did it on the Jeep just before I put it back on the road, and that car was running perfectly, and I might have done a little bit on that, just not in the whole process. Now I learnt this process from Chris Fix and Eric the Car Guy. Have both done videos on this, and they've both got like millions and millions of views on it, but I thought it was something interesting to try and show you guys as well if you've never seen it before and you've wanted to dabble yourself in doing the brakes by yourself. I've used kits, like one-person kits and all that sort of stuff, and it just hasn't worked out the way I've wanted it to. So this one was a sure thing. Alright, so all you need is just a spanner, just a plastic bottle and a bit of clear tube and yourself, and that's it. So join me today on Panda Garage. We're going to get through this. It's going to be a bit of fun, and also something that really made a huge difference on my cars, and I've got the Jeep running around to prove it. So join me today. Let's get stuck right into it. So the first thing to note is to get your car up on jacks. We've done that a million times before, and okay, as we slide under the car, might be a bit hard to see, but where my finger is where the bleed nipple is. Oh, you know, you can see it okay. So that's the bleed nipple. Just make sure you look for it where under your car if you do this. Every car is sort of in a different spot. Like this one's right at the top, which I find really strange, because like the Jeep's one was actually sticking on the side here, which was like much easier to access. But at least we don't have to take the wheel off for this, which is good. So we're actually going to loosen off the nipple a little bit, and then we'll attach our hose, our little tube and our container to it, and then I'm going to show you the process from there. Okay, before we get started, I thought I'd better say, if you're not comfortable about doing stuff with your brakes, because it's such an important component and can be a life or death situation, I thought I'd just let everyone know that if you aren't comfortable with this, just take it to a brake professional or your mechanic and get them to do this, because you don't want to get this wrong. But for those who want to give this a crack themselves, as long as you do it the right way and you don't muck around or cut corners, you should be fine. So what I thought I'd bring up is what we're going to use today. Now I've got my these are a line spanner. I'm just going to use that for my spanner today because it's the first 10mm I could find. Now most Commodores, like from the VTV Z series, will actually use a 10mm screw as the nipple. Got our brake fluid, that's .4. Make sure you get that right, because you can get .3 or .4. And also I've got a little water bottle here with a plastic hose in it, clear hose. That's very important. Make sure you get a clear hose so you can actually see what's going on. And what I do is I tape it into the bottle to make sure it actually stays inside. So plenty of fluid in there. Make sure you get plenty of brake fluid as well, because you don't want to run out at the tank. So that's what we're going to do first. We're going to make sure the tank is at a good height, and then we're going to start on the first caliper. First things first, going to pop. Alright, first things first, we're going to pop this off, like so. Put it over. Now, make sure we don't get that on any of the paint. As you can see, it's a bit grimy in there, doesn't it? It's at its maximum height, and make sure that that is always full, because you don't want to get air into the lines any more than there might be. Now this is for bleeding your brakes by yourself, so I'm going to just do the front calipers for example. That's all I did at the Jeep at the time, and it fixed it right up, because I'd actually removed the whole master cylinder out of the actual out of the Jeep, so we had to bleed everything and make the brakes good again. So
This is basically for once you put new pads in, or you might change something and you want to redo it. So that's what we're going to do today. So going to get started. That's a good height. Let's get the nipple loosened off and we'll start bleeding the brakes.
Okay, so right now, as you can see, got our hose attached to the nipple. That I just had to stack it on a few containers because I wanted it to be difficult and the tube didn't want to be long enough. We had no issues when I did the G, but for some reason this Monaro wants to fight me today. So that's all there now, and all I'm going to do is like gently release the nipple. I've loosened it off like slightly, so we're going to do it just a little bit so you can actually see fluid coming out of the tube. And then after that we're going to get in the car and we're just going to pump the brake a few times, come out and check it, make sure that it's got no air in the system, and we're going to just keep repeating that process on both sides until it's completely clear. So first up, I'm going to loosen it off so we get a little bit of fluid flowing, and then after that we're going to actually start pumping the brake. So let's get started. As you can see, hopefully a little bit, so there's a little bit of fluid just sitting there. What I'm going to do now is get in the car and actually pump the brake a few times, and we're going to get that flowing, and we're going to get all the bubbles out of the system. Right, we're getting a nice stream there. Doesn't look like there's any bubbles, which is good. It's got only bled the brakes not long ago, so these brakes are okay by the looks of it. We'll pump it a few more times and then we'll pinch it up. So that is doing really well. Just gotta slide this out of the way. So as you can see, that's a nice continuous flow of brake fluid. So no air bubbles, which is great. So we'll button this up and then we're going to top up the tank. Alright, so we're just gonna, as you can see, the tank is a little bit low. Just going to top it up a little bit, like that. That's close. Right there. Yeah, so that is that process, and then we just repeat this same on the other side, and then that's it. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know how you go if you do try this yourself. It's a pretty simple process. It just starts with jacking up your car, loosening off the bleed nipple, putting on your plastic tube into your container. Make sure that the tube's actually in the fluid, as you would have seen. Plenty of fluid on tap, just to keep topping up your tank, and just slowly work your way around the car. Mainly start from the driver's side, or whatever side your brake master cylinder's on, closest first, then move to the other side, and then just sort of follow a sort of order like that. If you've got any questions at all, leave them down below. Check us out on Instagram. Remember to check us out on Facebook and Instagram, the Panda Garage, on both of those. You'll see little sort of snippets between making videos. Thank you all for supporting the channel as well. Give it a like, this video, and also subscribe to the channel. Hit the little bell if you haven't already. And if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you come on board because we have a lot of fun here. And hopefully you enjoy these videos. So until next time, guys, my name's Matt. This is Panda Garage, and I'll see you all next time.